Your observations, your impressions on the conduct of the ongoing elections, the ongoing elections in Ekiti.
Well, good morning, Okuyori.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Yeah, I will say that it's been a very peaceful election since morning that we've been monitoring it. We have seen the people conducting themselves in a peaceful manner. And we have seen that INEC has upped their games. And we can see that they are now, they were at the polling units at the appropriate time, and voting and accreditation started early enough. So I think they are getting it right. And by the end of today, we will be able to look at what happened in other centers and see what, because we were just seeing it in F1, in Ekiti and some other local governments that have been shown to us. But I believe that by the end of today, we'll be able to look at what have been done throughout the whole day, and what areas we will now look at that can be improved upon in subsequent elections.
Well, we saw Governor Fayemi earlier, who was attesting to the all that you've just said, as a matter of fact. But there are those who are saying, let's not get ahead of ourselves. It might be early days yet, but so far very encouraging. In fact, the expression you use that INEC seems to have upped its game, that's what we're hearing all around. There are hiccups, I imagine. Our man, Ayodele Ozubaku, in there, he's just one of the reporters. We have a team there. He was saying that he had observed as well, quote unquote, a business going on there, if you get the euphemism. But the security people that we spoke with said that, nope, they've not noticed any such thing. So there you are. We have two sides to the story. The observers say they see what's going on, but maybe they're so adept at concealing it from the authorities whose report probably will matter are saying that no such thing. What do you make of it?
Well, until it's proven, I still want to maintain that nothing is going on, except we have proof of buying and selling has been alleged by the, what they call them, the observers. And I listened to Ayo also earlier this morning when he was talking about it, that he was noticing some level. It might not be what they thought. It might be some level of seeing to hit. We have people who are also canvassers who will be going out there to look at this, look at the people that we vote for their candidates. So, except we have proof. As it is now, the security agencies are saying they have not seen such, but the observers are saying they have noticed such in some areas. Well, until it's proven, for me, I think we can still wait until maybe after today, maybe we start seeing proof of such, and we now look at how the best way to address such and address it in a way that Nigerians will not continue to compromise in the area of exercising their franchise.
Okay. Honorable Olulade, we also have in studio here public affairs analyst Deyemi Saka. A fine morning to you, and thank you for showing again. We're together, but
thanks for indulging me. Apologies for running late.
No problem.
It is
everything
Lagos.
everything is fine. So you no doubt have been following everything going on. It looks good at the moment. There are a few factual discrepancies that I'm sure will be sorted out, but everybody seems to be positively minded about the whole thing. The timeliness of the arrival of the materials. It's a good omen, would you say?
Yeah, it's a good omen, and I think this will give us a peep into what to expect in 2015, preparedness, 2023, sorry, I'm not taking us back. Preparedness of INEC, but it's a good one. Ekiti State is a state I'm familiar with. And I think it's just it's a contest among brothers. I don't say getting bloodied at some point. No, I believe all these gentlemen are friends. They know each other, and I don't see how you have to be desperate if you put yourself up for people that you want to serve people. If they think you're not good enough, you don't have to be desperate. It's their loss, not yours. So, but I expect a fair contest. I expect a good conduct. It's not just about INEC conducting, doing its functions or performing its functions rightly. It's up to the electorate to go out there, be gentle about it, be civil about it, and be patriotic about it. That's the most important one for me.
Indeed, as you said, all of them know each other.
Yeah, they know each other.
Fact, but still, Honorable Olulade, security-wise, everything is fine now for the moment. But as you know, 17,000 policemen and allied security agencies. We saw one of them in Ayodele's report, being the civil defense chief in that area. The question that one will want to ask when one gets hold of some other member of the security committee, as I am calling them for now, is how could those kind of things that reporters, eyewitnesses are talking about could escape their notice? How worrisome do you think this whole question is about a business going on there, meaning that inducement,
vote buying,
alleged
vote
buying was going on? How concerned are you?
Well, I would say I'm highly concerned. I'm concerned because if those who are not security men could notice some level of buying or some atrocities going on within a sphere where we have enough security men around, and they are claiming that they don't notice us, something like that, I think is make us to look at it critically and see how best we can continue. And that's why I'm looking for proof.
Yes,
I said we should have a way of proving this, because if we have a way of proving it, it will avail us the opportunity to be able to deal with the security people and address it accordingly. Because you cannot tell me, as a security personnel, you are expected to gather information, you are expected to do investigative issues within that election areas that you are being assigned to. So if you are not telling me that you are not noticing anything of such, meanwhile, those who are not trained are saying something like that are going on, I think it called for a great concern, and everybody must look at it until, like I said, until it's proven
exactly
such thing is going on.
Exactly. Deyemi, as Honorable Olulade is saying there, these things must be proven. And the guys, the security professionals who are there are saying that they haven't noticed anything of the sort. But then again, these people alleged to be doing this kind of a thing are not fools. You see, the security people are in uniforms, and they'll probably, if indeed the allegation is true, behave themselves if there's any security personnel in the vicinity. That's on the one hand. It then leads you to think, surely those people are all professionals, and they must know that there will be a need for some officers in mufti. Or what do you think?
Yeah, it depends on we cannot sit down here and second guess decisions taken in the heat of the moment while we are not there. But like you said, it's expected that if it was in the mandate or the scope of operations, they should have been prepared for such, planting spies and people that will not be easily identified with their uniform or insignias and what have you. But that has not been done. We don't know the brief that the security agents were given. They might just be told that you have to go there and make sure there's a peaceful conduct and people follow the instructions of INEC, and make sure there's nobody bearing arms, there's no disruption of voting process. So,
and probably not read meaning into people moving away and the actions, because it's a free. I think they're trying to stay out of it as much as possible, so that they don't disrupt the civilian flow and aspect of the
because
selection.
if they get overbearing and they get so down to business and want to put their eyes onto everything or snoop everything, we might start saying the election was militarized. We might start accusing the security agents of so much interference in the electoral process. And even the electoral hearts, we just have the security agents the policeman standing by the polling booth is not bearing arms, is not interfering. So we should know that the role of security agents in our elections is just observatory, like the international observers, like everybody. It's now left for the politicians, the political actors, and the electorate to decide. And like I said, the emphasis is on the patriotism. Seeing it as a patriotic duty. I don't see why I want to sell the next 4 years of my life, because whether I like it or not, the decisions, the actions and inaction of the government will affect me for the next 4 years at least. And I look at I weigh it side by side. What I'm being paid to cast a vote for these people, is it enough for the benefits of good governance that we get?
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to get to the bottom of it, because when we were speaking with our man, Ayodele Ozubaku, as I was saying, there's a whole team there. We also speak with other members of that team in different locations and see what they observe.
And sir, do you know that we have investigative journalists? They're even more snoopy than the policemen. And they can get things out. And they have a lot of time to play with. They are not under any pressure to get things right. So, and the people doing the transaction will not be scared of them to do it in their presence, that they will be in the presence of the security agents. We should put that into consideration too. So if you are waiting for facts, evidence to nail these guys, the police might not have it, or security agents are going to have it, because it will not be done in their presence.
Okay. Honorable Olulade, we're talking about this, but this is just to say this is Ekiti Decides. It's a special, it's a special broadcast upon the occasion of the polls in Ekiti, and TVC News will be on it till it comes to the end. We'll just be cutting in and out necessarily for news, but you can just stay with TVC and know you'll be getting a blow-by-blow account. Honorable Olulade, we were speaking with the Deputy Inspector General of Police yesterday on the program, who explained the very elaborate security that has been put in place, spoke about an outer layer and an inner layer. So we sort of are reassured that they've got the security down pat. But as I was saying, by the time we speak to other members of the TVC reporting crew over there, we'll see if they have similar experiences. But for the moment, it is what it is. You said it right. I think you called it right when you said you will be requiring proof. So people have to.
I want to get that proof.
Well, Honorable Olulade, what do you say to that? That sometimes proof might be very, very difficult. Are people being what they are?
Well, for me, I think the issue of security is, as explained by the other guests, is clear on this matter, that they are there to maintain peace and order in all the polling units. And if they are doing that, fantastic. But we are also aware that we are also being informed that ICPC and EFCC will be around. So I expect those ones to be able to take up actions against, if they find out that they are foul playing in some of those centers. That should not take away the fact that people are voting and they are exercising their franchise, and INEC should be commended. So far, so good about the early. But the only thing I also have complained about is the issue of the registered voters, where we have 1,900 in a polling unit. I think this is not acceptable. I think INEC should do something. And I know we have a lot of that, especially in Lagos State. And I think INEC should look into that and try to have other polling units that can be created. Instead of having 1,000 plus in a polling unit, I don't think that is too tidy. I don't think it's going to provide us the expected timing and the kind of, it could also lead to violence when people are queuing up for hours without having the opportunity of voting, so or getting to vote as early as possible so that they can go home and do other things. So for me, I think INEC should look into that.
All right. Thank you very much, Honorable Olulade. Stay with us, please. And we also have online joining us from Ekiti, the chairman of the House Committee on Media and Publicity, that is the Ekiti State House of Assembly, Yemisi Ayokunle. She's joining us via Zoom. If there are challenges with the picture, we'll be good with her voice. So good morning to you, Honorable Ayokunle.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much. Give us your impression. I imagine that you've also, have you been able to be around, to go around, or how is it? What can you add to, the generally positive report we're getting out of Ekiti?
Yes, I just want to thank you for bringing me up on this program, and thank my sister who's been on my neck to join the Zoom meeting. I want to say thank you to INEC. I want to say thank you to the security agencies. I want to say thank you to even the voters. Everything has been going on smoothly. We resumed to our various polling units as early as 7 o'clock. And we joined the queue as usual, and everybody has been voting. You do your accreditation, you do your voting simultaneously, and you move on. The only issue we had in my polling unit for just a few minutes was the issue of the machine. It was not catching our thumb printing, but they opted for taking our pictures, and that worked faster. And they said it was because the sunlight was not up yet. But now that the sun is up, I think everything is faster and moving on smoothly. And the security agencies on ground, they are protecting everyone, and there's no chaos, no disruption anywhere. Everything is going on smoothly.
Honorable, in terms of capturing prospective voters, have you heard any report about the beavers not working curiously enough when it was a senior citizen, but it was working with just about everybody else? I don't know if you heard about that curiosity.
It's just a few people that the thing is not working for, and they had an option. If you were not captured by option A, the next option is to take your picture, and that one goes on faster than the finger capturing. I think generally, on the average, everything is okay. Is really okay.
Much honorable, for coming on the program. Thank you very much. That's Honorable Yemisi Ayokunle of the Ekiti State House of Assembly. Okay, so well, back in studio here, that sort of gives something of an answer, perhaps, to the curious situation we heard that with elderly people, they were frustrated. But she's just explained that, well, this might be what happened.
Without trying to talk down the senior citizens in Ekiti State, most of these people are farmers. They still go to farms. A lot of them probably would have even gone to farm this morning before coming to vote. That's what they do in Ekiti State. So it probably could affect the print or capturing of the print on the fingers. But I guess with all the necessary things on ground, that will be sorted out. But there was one thing that Honorable Segun Olulade said before we went to Honorable Yemisi Ayokunle, when he said that having so large numbers of voters in a polling unit, it's
and then 19 odd in some other polling unit.
Sir, to people that have been to Ekiti, I can tell you that Ekiti, I can give an instance from Ikun to Ijesha to Iye. It's still the same stretch of road, but can take you almost 20-25 minutes to go there. And it's not like everywhere. It's not like Lagos that from one town to the other you have settlements and communities seemingly flowing into each other. This you just have it's like it stops here, it goes here, it stops here. So it will be cumbersome for INEC to delineate all those words and what have you, and it might just even be more expenses on INEC to have polling units across, because if you end up delineating those polling units, you might have a unit at some point that you might just have 4 or 5 voters coming out. So that we should understand. In fact, it goes from Ishon, where Governor Fayemi is from Ishon, to Oye, Iye to Ijeshamodu to Ikun. Then maybe from Ikun, taking you to Otun. That's quite a distance. But so if you don't look at it, if you're not aware of the geography or the spread, you might think INEC is not is being unfair to these people. But if you look at the spread and you know the geography very well, you might just want to tell yourself that, well, I think this INEC just trying to manage resources.
Well, as we said at the top of the program, we won't be able to tell you exactly what the turnout was like, but just looking at it visually, yesterday, people, I think it was our Ayodele Otugbakun who was also saying yesterday that the only area of concern here is everything was ready, INEC was ready, materials were ready, it's just the voter turnout now. We hope that it will be good. And from all accounts and pictures that we see, those people are not playing with this election.
I don't think it is a state where you have voter apathy. It's a state that they are very politically conscious, they are politically aware, they're politically literate. The extent or the intentions of the political literacy is what we cannot vouch for or what we can turn our chest to. This is why they are politically literate. But you can expect that they will turn out. You can expect that there will be massive turnout. And almost everybody in Ekiti, I stand to be corrected, is partisan. Is either is in APC or PDP or everybody.
Well, naturally.
The last time I was there, even 2 years ago, I was there. In fact, a cab driver was telling me, as far back before even they had their promise that this is where they are going, I was like, interesting. It's like 2 years ago. He said, yes, they know, they are ready. So Ekiti is just one state you probably would know that everybody is politically active there. Almost everybody is a category member of any party, or one party or the other.
So the voters have the work cut out for them because 16 people, 16 parties are participating.
Yeah, 16 parties are participating, but we have 3 serious contenders.
Well, okay, okay. I don't know what the situation is now. Yesterday, before yesterday, there had been reports that one of the parties had sort of collapsed its structures into that of the ruling party. But then later on, we saw other reports saying that there was no such thing at all. So that's why I'm not even bothering to mention the party concerned anymore.
You see, you will hear stories. There was one I heard that the candidate of the leading party was disqualified by a court. When I looked at the outlet that published that, it was a fake news. So it's probably to throw off voters off the trail, trying to capture voters without necessarily buying the votes. It's just to make them feel, can I say, despondent. So now look, okay, fine, if we are looking at A and A is out of the contest, we probably want to stick with B. So I think that's why you see a lot of propaganda flying back and forth it's just about, it's a game. It's a game plan to get voters. Because if I'm planning to vote for A and I just get a report that A is not in the contest, I probably will look for the next option. So all these guys, all these political actors know this game. You cannot credit it to one party or to one source. If you look at the names of the news outlets with all these fake news, you probably see that they are nameless, and but it's just to set an agenda, just to create a bit of panic in some prospective voters to vote, to sway them. So it's a strategy.
Honorable Olulade, I'm hearing that it's a strategy, and you politicians are men and women of strategy.
They are very good at it.
So I don't know, you're very good at it. Sometimes you purposely sell a dummy. There are all of these things to be expected, right? But even though everything is under control.
Well, for me, I think it might be a strategy used by the online voters or the online politicians. But for us on ground, we look out for voters, the real voters. We canvass them. We're not looking out for means of discouraging one political party followers. Well, because they already know. They are there. They are on ground. So they know who they are voting for. They know the candidate of their choice. They know their party. So, like you rightly said, that Ekiti, being a very small state, they know themselves. Nearly all of them are into politics. So for me, I think the issue of trying to by politicians. But we see that a lot of fake news are going on now in view of the social media, and those who are using social media to canvass for votes on social media might be using that tactic or that strategy. But for those who are on ground, they know that it is the real people they need to talk to. And for me, I don't think it's a good strategy for any politician to use for you to get your voters on your own side.
All right, I want to thank you very much, Honorable Segun Olulade, for joining this special broadcast, Ekiti Decides, on TVC News. Thank you, as always.
Thank you very much, Uncle Yori.